Hi everyone. Today I'm with my friend Peter, and today we are going to talk about God. Regardless from which religious background you are coming from, or you believe on religion or not, or you purely believe on science, I think along the way in life we all go through these questions which we are going to talk about today. So without further ado, let's dig in. What is religion in your definition?
Religion is for me a study of knowledge, and I basically prefer, instead of the word knowledge, the word knowingness. And knowingness means the ability to know what is true, which is inherent of any human being. And religion is the study of knowledge and of knowingness, and it is the study of our own nature.
I mean, if I have to answer this question, I would say humanity, when I look back, always they needed a kind of education system, because this is how we evolve as a human being. And when you go more thoroughly in any religion or in any religious book, you feel like the goal behind is that there is a force or there is a divine or God which wants us to get the knowledge to evolve our consciousness better in a way.
Yes, absolutely.
Could we survive as a humanity without religion?
I don't think so, because we are living in this universe, in this physical universe, and it is a universe which is functioning on the basis of physical laws.
Yeah.
And it is a universe which, by that definition, does not have any mercy, does not have any gratitude, does not have any respect. It is just it is like a cold machine. And to live in this universe, it is absolutely vital to feel oneself connected with the aspect of life which is not part of this universe. And I believe that there is an aspect of life which is basically disconnected from the physical universe. Christians told it, the soul. The Hindus told it, the Atman.
More or less, yes. Any religion,
exactly.
most of them, they talked about it. The next question is, I think it's very close to my heart. How to differentiate, or those people who feel confused about this, that no wonder which religion you take, more or less they tell you about this, that okay, this is the right path and this is the best path to find God. Or the prophets, so-called prophets, it can be somebody who you really look as a religious being, whatever they said is one of the best. The others, what they said, okay, it makes sense, it was also correct, but let's be honest, this is the best way. If you follow this path or our path, this is the best way. And I think this creates a lot of confusion. And maybe one of the things, humans still can't find the peace in between each other, and especially when it comes to religion. Because deep down, or sometimes I met certain group of people, they said very openly that our religion is one of the best. This is the word of the God. So how to, I don't think so we can fix it so easily, but what is your opinion about that?
My opinion about that is that it is possible to find a kind of a common denominator. of
Okay.
all religions, what all the great religions have in common.
Okay.
And I think what they all have in common, one aspect of this could come to this truth. Yeah, but I think it's a big problem. Yeah, that single religions believe that they are the only true religion. And for me, it is the big organized religions, some of them, for example, if I take Christianity or if I take Islam, is a source of many, many suffering of people and many, many bad things.
How a common person can find the answer for that, okay, my religion is not the best religion, it's one of the knowledge
Yeah.
which all of us humans we have. It's just literally, let's take for example, I'm just going to give an example, like there's a law or legal system. So there could be like 5 to 10 books about it. It doesn't mean that any book is less worthy or any idea is less worthy. It's just like they all are talking about the same topic, more or less, but it's just said differently, or it's just written in a little bit different way.
Yeah.
Because I think when we will be a little bit calm down about this,
Yeah.
so there will be a lot of world problems or issues, they will get down a little bit. Or in my naive mind, this is how I think, but I believe this can help a lot.
Yeah. I think if it is for me, is in comparison, there are people are in the jungle and they want to find a way out of the jungle.
Yeah.
And there are several leaders who have the idea how to get out of the jungle. And the common denominator of all these people is the goal. They want to get out of the jungle. And the problem with organized religions is that there is a big game of the leaders.
Yeah.
Who has the best way, and there is put so much attention on the kind of propaganda, and marketing, which each leader uses. And I think it is time to calm down, like you said, and just remind what is the goal. Yeah. I mean, what is the goal of religion? Why do people turn themselves to religion? What are they searching for? Are they searching for immortality? Maybe some, yeah. But I mean, basically, everybody is looking for peace of mind.
True.
Yeah, that's the thing, and this should be the thing which is important. Yeah, and this is the attention should be put on that, I think.
Does hell or heaven exist? And if they do, what is your definition of hell and heaven?
For me, heaven and hell do not exist as a reality.
Okay.
I don't believe in any place where people are sent to suffer for their sins, and I don't believe in a place called heaven where people are sent to be awarded for their good deeds.
What makes you not to believe that?
Because for me it is so obvious that it is a story which was invented by people, but it is a story which was invented, which has some basics. which has some fundamental in reality, because it has the reason that so many people believe in it. Because people would not believe in hell if there would not be a kind of experience which is expressed in this story about hell. And I think there are states of mind which could be described as hell. And for me, hell is the state of mind of feeling totally disconnected, of feeling the feeling of really not be in touch with other human beings and with life, and to feel totally isolated. And I think this is hell. And if life is developing on this planet in a situation where people are more and more for themselves and are not connected with each other, basically this planet has the capacity to be a very good manifestation of hell.
Of hell, yeah. It's quite similar, honestly, my idea too, because I think I heard very often when I was growing up that hell and heaven exists here in this world. And honestly, sometimes it was used to annoy me that what do they mean? Like, there's so much suffering here, and yeah, there are a lot of good things, but there are a lot of bad things happening as well. And at that time, I didn't know the power of choice, which nature has given us.
Yeah.
So I believed mostly things happen to you. You don't have a power to change it or to do anything about it. Now, what I feel is, in this moment, I mean, of my age and life, yes, it is the state of mind of human being.
Yeah.
Because literally two people in the same situation can exist, and one person literally can feel that I am in hell, and the other person can feel, wow, I'm in heaven. So this makes me to believe this, that it is here, literally. And even the religious books which I read and what I could understand, this is also one of the similarity they have, that heaven is going to be where you are very happy and peaceful, and you have no regrets about the past, and you have no worries about the future.
Yes.
You know, and this is possible on this planet too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like, if divine and God, we are using the word God, by the way, because this is one of the most common words to be used, but you can call that force and with any name, by any name, and it's still the same force. So, which I feel like, if that force would speak to humans as a human being, that force will tell that, don't you see it? What you see in the books, I have given you everything here as heaven.
Yeah.
I have given you all of those things which you believe you will get after life. But all you have to do, make the certain choices on this planet as a combined humanity, of course, and then you can have all the heaven which you have been talking about for centuries.
One also could say that hell is kind of living in a nightmare.
True.
And for me, humanity, or many human beings, are living in a kind of a hypnotic trance.
Another thing which I feel, okay, I will tell later how I feel about it, but it's like the mainstream things what you read about religions, most of them, it shows God quite like a angry personality and revengeful, and like a that strict parent. If you are good, I'm happy, but if you are not good, what I told you not to do, then there's a big punishment coming for you. Do you think this picture of revengeful God, angry God, was a scheme of certain group of people, like from the past, and still is happening, so they can have those religious groups or those so-called people who can get advantage out of this? Do you think it was a scheme, like a brainwash? Because sometimes I feel it's one of the biggest brainwash a human being have, you know?
Yeah.
Like God is not, I mean, it's such a brain, because I have talked with certain people, or many people, honestly. They tell me, yeah, I know God is very merciful, God is full of love. But practically, when you see their life, that fear is, it's so deep down in their hearts that like literally God can get angry for many things on me, and I hope I'm doing things right and correctly. But when it becomes bigger, when it comes into the groups, then even killing other human beings becomes like a right thing to do for God, because this is what makes my God happy. So do you think it's a brainwash, it happened like this, or how along the way as a humanity we went to this place?
Yeah. So for me, it is definitely a brainwash, and it is definitely a scheme. But I am not sure if it was invented intentionally.
Okay.
Because in the Christian religion is said that God created man as a mirror of himself.
All right.
And the religions which have such a concept of God, like you mentioned, they did it in the other way. They took themselves and made God of a mirror of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that this was just happening out of lack of understanding,
Yeah.
and intellectual poorness. And I think for me it is so that these kinds of religions are a kind of control operation. Where I don't have the idea that there are people who were thinking about, okay, how can we enslave people, and now let's invent a religion. But I think it happened. And it is one of the most hideous and vicious control operations I know of. Because if I say that a human being is basically a spiritual being, and if I say that God is the supreme being, is the highest being, is the highest order of beingness, and if this being is so revengeful and is basically behaving like an insane person, yeah, I mean, nobody wants to have such a person who acts like such a revengeful God as a neighbor,
Yeah.
or as a colleague at work. Yeah? And so if I agree with the fact that the Supreme Being has such characteristics, then I basically degrade every human being and say, this is God. He is revengeful, he is jealous, he is vicious, yeah, and he demands obedience, and if you don't obey, then you get punishment. And this is the Supreme Being, and you are basically the same, but even less.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it is very, very not a good thing.
I agree. Yes. During this talk, we established this, that religion, when we look back, was or has been very important for humanity. To one of the biggest reason to bring religion among humans was that consciously we can get evolved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which brought a lot of issues as well, because most of the humanity did not take it that way.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of people used religion for their own favor, and groups of people, of course.
Yes.
Do you think now it's time for humans to realize this and try to create their own relationship with God, Krishna, Om, or divine, you name it? But taking this power, which was given to, I believe, every human being from the moment of their birth, that they can make their own relationship with that source.
Yeah.
Do you think it's time for humanity to do that, each and every human being?
I think it basically was always time to do that. Yeah? But now it is
more than ever, I guess.
Yes. I think so. And for me, it is time for that man or every human being learns as a human being to stand on his own feet and not depend on any other forces which are giving interpretations or anything like that, because all the knowledge which is necessary to have such a relation to the divine, if one might call it like that, is in every human being.
True.
Yeah, there is nothing which has been given as a gift from some exterior forces, and it's just time to become. It is a kind of emancipation, of going up on the correct level.
How a common person who is like not going to the religious temples or mosques or churches, like, but how that person, a common man, can create a relationship with God, from where to start? Because sometimes I think a lot of people are very confused where to start. And then because so many thoughts and so many things starts coming in your mind, and you feel like, never mind, you know. But where to start? What should be the first step?
There is a very, very, very old technique.
Okay, I'm interested.
Yeah, and it's coming from India. And it is one very simple question.
Okay.
And the question is, who am I?
Nice.
Yeah, and this technique consists out of asking this question to oneself.
True.
And never be satisfied with the answer. Because if a human being asks himself, who am I?
Yeah.
Then he maybe answers, well, I'm a carpenter. Yeah. Or I am a taxi driver, or I am a surgeon. Yeah. And the technique is just to continue asking. Yeah. Because the truth is the person who is asking the question.
Who am I?
Who am I? Yeah. It is very, very, it is really, I think it is the most elementary, most simple.
And I think staying very calm with the answers, not feeling overwhelmed, no matter what the answer is.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's beautiful. If I have to answer this in my way, I would say, if you have this feeling sometimes, like where to start my relationship with the divine, take literally 5 to 10 minutes. Even 5 minutes are enough. Ideally in the morning, but it can be any time when you're alone by yourself. Just take a long breath, and think about it. Like, years ago, honestly, I started, because I was feeling very, very, very down in my life. I was going through a lot. I was depressed. I was going through such a hard time of my life, and I was confused for so much information. I was reading a lot about religions and all that. I have been always curious, honestly, even from a very young age. But I felt so overwhelmed from where to start. And it was just like, I sat down one day and I just started talking to God, just like the way I'm talking to you. It doesn't mean that I didn't feel funny. Of course I did. I felt like maybe I'm losing my mind, or am I getting crazy, or what? Who am I to think that I'm talking to God? I'm nobody. But trust me, it does wonders. It starts your relationship. It's really like it has been always there somewhere inside you, that function or that button which you just press at that time. And that energy is there for you. And today I'm talking about this very proudly and very confidently, because this is literally, like I'm telling you, the incident at least 15 years ago. Because I would not have that much confidence literally after 1 year or 2 years to talk about this like this way. But it does wonders, really. So whoever is listening, please start from somewhere. Either this simple question which we feel like, who am I? Maybe it sounds crazy too, like I should ask, who am I? I know who am I. But either it can be that, or taking 5 minutes quietly and just saying, hey God, how are you doing? I'm not feeling good today, or I'm feeling good today, or whatever. But start the communication by yourself, and as I said before, it will do wonders. So one of the last few things which I wanted to discuss with you, every religion would say God loves you unconditionally. And of course later when you go further, then it gives a different picture. So let's start from there. What is unconditional love?
Unconditional love is basically just what the word says.
Exactly, without any condition, right?
Yeah, it is without any condition. This is in human relations. A man loves a woman, for example, and he loves the woman. Another example, children and the parents.
Okay, yeah, that's better, yes.
If the children love, if the parents love the child, and they really love the child, they just love the child. The mother loves the child, and if the mother gets the information that the child was killing someone, and the mother still will love the child, then the mother maybe will be terrified or whatever, but this love is unconditional. And I mean, it is just like the word says. This is if it is so. No, there are no prerequisites. There is no. You have to be like this, and then I love you. And if you are not like this,
absolutely, I agree with you. I really liked your example, what you are saying. But on the other hand, when I try to go deeper to this example, which many of us human beings, we give that. I have been given this example as well, how much parents love their kids, and this is unconditional love. This also creates a lot of confusion, because let's be honest, a lot of times parents' love is not unconditional, because they also don't know what is unconditional love. And other thing which have created this issue, I think, a lot of religions, they see God as a male force, because he, him, those are the pronouns which are used very often. And we see on this planet that we believe that dad's love is a tough love. When you do something, he's gonna maybe hit you as well. In the past, like, it was very common and still is happening in many countries. But yeah, he loves you. I believe, of course, this is one example to make us to understand God's love. But divine's love is the pure definition of unconditional love. As you said, by the way, that how it shows in the word, a love without condition. Which means, so-called, if you are bad, it does not mean that force who loves you unconditionally gonna put you in hell. Because that force perhaps knows that everybody has a backstory. If so-called a killer or somebody who we believe has taken a path which is very harmful for other human beings, but that force who is all knowledge knows that too, that there are background stories. That man, so-called a killer, was a child one time, and because his father has been hurt by his father, maybe his father came from a time of war or something, so this generational trauma is traveling.
It is.
So today, what this killer did, he created hell for himself by his choices, of course. But that divine is not sitting there and thinking, you didn't do the right thing, now I'm gonna put you into hell to make you suffer more. Because why I really want to talk about this topic, because this fear is really destroying so many people's life, that they are confused about the unconditional love of God, of that force,
for me, there is a totally, I basically have a totally different approach to this. I was trying to answer it in the context where the question was given. But basically, if I speak about the unconditional love of God, I have basically underlying a dualistic concept. The dualistic concept is there is God, and there are the creations of God. And what relation has God to his creation, or her or its creation, creations? And for me, and from my experience, it is so that truth is making free. And the really freedom in the context of religion, I personally experienced when I realized that there is no distinction between God and his creations. There is a show on Netflix right now. It is the title is 1883. It is a Western story by Taylor Sheridan, and there is one situation where a young lady is going through the wilderness of America and is confronted with the absolute brutality of nature. She comes out of the civilization and she is religiously educated, and she realizes that the nature, without the colors of civilization, is absolutely merciless absolutely without any empathy or anything like this. And then she says, and this is very interesting to hear something like that in a Netflix series.
Okay.
She says, the question is, for whom did God create the world? And her answer is, God created the world for himself.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah? And this is the oldest religious concept which we have on this planet. It is more than 5,000 years old and comes from India. And it is the idea that God creates everything for his own entertainment. Yeah? And it is like someone is writing a screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
He is the writer of the screenplay. He is every actor of every role.
Yeah.
He is defining every role, and he is doing everything. And there is no separation between God and a human being.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because all creation is a creation of God.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think read somewhere this analogy that if we see God as sun, so all the sunlight and beams, what they are coming from sun,
Yeah.
they can say we are sun.
Yes.
In a way, right?
Exactly.
Of course, they will be part of sun, but they are sun at the same time.
Yes.
So it's kind of like that. But that part I also really liked, which you said that you read somewhere, or it was, I think in Hindu religion, you believe. You said that. I would like to talk about this more, maybe next time with you, that God or the divine created all the creation for itself. What does it mean?
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
I mean, it can be said in very simple words.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is that it is wisdom and knowledge which exists since thousands of years. It is in the Indian philosophy, there is a human being consists of the body and what is called in Christianity the soul. It is called in India the Atman.
Yeah.
And the way of spiritual liberation is in this concept that the Atman realizes his own independence of the body. He realizes, I am not the body, I am myself. That's the first step. Yeah, it is the whole yoga systems.
Yeah.
Basically go in this direction. That the Atman realizes, I am not the body, I am myself. And the next step is that the Atman realizes that he is the same as God, that there is no difference. And this is in this old tradition called enlightenment. And I mean, it is a very, very old concept. It's not very original of myself to repeat it. Yeah, but I mean, it is, yeah, because for me, God is not a dualistic concept. Yeah, it is. There is an Indian word which is called Advaita. Advaita means not two. Yeah, it does not mean one. It means not two. So a spiritual being and God are not one, but they are also not two. And that's, for my experience, freedom.
Not two.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean.
Thank you so much for joining.
You're welcome.
And I'm sure we will carry on this because there are a lot of questions, there are a lot of topics I would like to discuss with you in future. So thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you too.